Let's face it, guys. We are living in the greatest era of men's content. And I mean, it's awesome. 24 hours a day, we can come on to YouTube, Facebook, social media, Instagram, TikTok, and see men holding women accountable. And we are out there like cheering like crazy. We do it from Fresh and Fit, Kevin Samuels, and we like to even directly ask women about their accountability.
You gotta realize, because I've started taking accountability with certain things of how I behave.
Would you say that's common for women to take accountability?
At a certain point in your life, we gotta grow up.
No. That's not what I asked you. I said, do you think women take accountability? Because women like to be wrong and strong. So, I mean, with you being a woman, you knowing women, you know women. Do women take accountability?
I feel like women can.
No. We didn't ask that. We not asking. I don't want to ask you. No,
you asked a simple question.
Yeah.
But do men?
It's a yes or no. What, yo? It's a yes or no question.
But do men? Do men take accountability?
You can't.
Y'all can't answer the question.
Time out. It's a yes or no question.
Yes.
That he's asking.
Yes, but there's a but.
There is always a but.
And it gives us confirmation bias to hear women admit what we already felt about some of their proclivities or behaviors. But rewind, Dima. But see, in March 2019, we saw something that was very interesting. There was a young man by the name of Robert House who was on ankle monitor. He robbed NFL receiver Joe Jurevicius, former receiver, and a 70-year-old woman at gunpoint in two separate September burglaries that happened in 2018. Now, he also had served more than 5 years in prison for another home invasion. So you would think that with a criminal record like that and understanding what would happen to him if he were to do this again, he would be ready for the consequences, right? Well, that's wrong. Let's check this out.
Clearly, he didn't learn his lesson and was not rehabilitated, and I'm requesting that he receive the maximum sentence allowed by law. Unfortunately, my grandmother told me a long time ago, if you have nothing nice to say about somebody, don't say it. And Your Honor, at this point, I have nothing good to say. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. 7, the kidnapping, I sentenced you to 11 years plus 3 years for the gun. Count 8, the having a weapon while under disability, I sentenced you to 36 months. Counts 9 and 10, there are no sentences because they merged with count 5. Count 11, the disrupting public service, a felony of 4th degree, I sentence you to 12 months. The gun specifications on counts 1, 5.
Is that 43 and a half years?
I don't think there's any half. 43 straight, right?
Bullshit, man.
Ooh, get out of here, man.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Bullshit, man. Fucking bullshit, man. You fucked up, man. Bullshit, man. Fuck, man.
You see, that is Robert House crying like a little bitch after understanding what would happen to him still doing it over again, and he's crying about being sentenced. He can't believe it's happening. He's yelling and he's crying. He's doing all of those things, but it makes sense because he knew what would happen if he did it. Fast forward, Dima. Let's talk about May 2023. Our boy John Morant, who is one of the greatest players right now in this generation. I mean, he's turned that franchise into a winner, into a playoff contender. But hey, John Morant, he just can't stop messing around with guns. At least not on Instagram. And I know what you guys are going to say. Well, the gun that he is flashing or using is his own gun. It's not illegal. He's not committing any crime. And I get that. You're completely right. But John Morant understood the rules. And that is why it's only him being suspended right now and not the other 300 plus players in the NBA and maybe the 100 plus players in the NBA like G League or D League who never ever get suspended for brandishing weapons online. And so now that John Morant, who has been suspended before, is being suspended again, he's now depressed. And look at his Instagram story here. Love you, ma. Love you, pops. You the greatest, baby girl. Bye. It seems as if Ja Morant would delete himself. And so much so that the police made a welfare check on him after these deleted Instagram story posts. But see, here's the issue, Ja Morant. Don't come on looking for attention now. Because see, you're a millionaire. You have a privileged life. Now, you did work very hard for it. You've did everything you're supposed to do to be talented. But it's not even just the gun situations, Ja. I mean, you're being sued by a 17-year-old basketball. A 17-year-old person says that you had, you jumped him during a basketball game. There was the Indiana Pacers incident. Like, bro, you just can't stop losing for winning, man. You keep doing all of these things to yourself, and now you want somebody to feel sorry for you. It's just like me feeling sorry for this guy who has been in jail numerous times, and now the guy is crying about this sentencing. Now he wants attention. He feels it's unfair. But did he not feel that it was unfair when he was behaving in the way that he was? Now, I also want to talk about this with Ja Morant. He didn't commit any crimes, but he knew the rules. Just like you know the rules when you go to work. When you go to work, you know that if you've been tardy and you're late again, you're going to get written up or fired. So what do some of you idiots do? You show up to work late. Now, showing up to work late in itself is not a crime at all. It is definitely not a crime. I mean, you getting written up for showing up to work is not a crime. But showing up to work when you know that you shouldn't be out drinking the night before, and you know that you're going to run the risk of showing up to work when you know that you've already been told not to show up to work, you do run the risk of losing your income. You do run the risk of being fired. And then when you get fired, I've seen so many guys in jobs I've been in start yelling and screaming and blaming others for their mistakes and cussing out the manager and, saying F you then, all of these things. I didn't need this job anyway. And you're just proving the point as to why you don't need to be there. See, Ja Morant, the issue is he's proven the point of why he doesn't need to be in the NBA. Because he simply can't follow the rules. And it doesn't matter that he's not breaking any laws. Just like, hey, showing up to work late is not breaking any laws. But one thing is true, when you don't respect the rules, then what happens is somebody has to make you respect those rules. So now you want to feel sorry for yourself. Now you want attention. Just like you wanted that same attention when you're brandishing that weapon on Instagram. So if you loved your mom so much, if you loved your pop so much, if you loved your baby girl so much, guess what? You wouldn't have put yourself in a situation where you couldn't provide for those people that you say you love. Okay? These old, self-deleting, attention-seeking stories wouldn't be there. Because if you really loved your mom, if you really loved your pops, if you really loved your daughter, you wouldn't be breaking the rules in the NBA. And it's the same thing about that young man who's crying about going to jail. If you really wanted to be free and not be in jail, then bro, it makes sense that you wouldn't be robbing people. But when people want to be lukewarm and get everything their way, they'll start crying and getting attention seeking about everything because you want to do whatever you want to do. Unfortunately, life does not work like that. If that would be the case, we'd all be super rich, we'd all be super powerful, and we all be super wealthy. But see, life, there's rules. And the quicker you get that, the quicker you understand that, the faster and the further you will grow in this life. But if you keep believing that life revolves around you because you feel that you're special and you don't have to adhere to any guidelines, you're quickly going to succumb to your own thought processes. And there'll always be people like me to commentate on it. So I hope Ja Morant can go head on and take this issue and take this consequence and be a man. You knew it was going to happen to you when you were doing it, so stop bitching. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Producer for all the dudes, Herbert the Bell. We're out.